guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Write this down.
Write that down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
The OG edition of Write That Down, Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd. This and Purple Daily, where every Wednesday we admit how brutally wrong we are on a regular basis. We keep track of our statistics. We have a database going back 10 years of predictions, 7 years of statistics, and we are winding down the 2024 season, which goes Super Bowl to Super Bowl. And all of the categories are wide open here, boys. The batting average race is wide open. The home run race is wide open. So we will get to all of those things. Let's talk about MSP plumbing and heating first, though. Powering Write That Down today.
Which brings up a very important word, and that's commitment. And commitment is one of the most important words that you will find at MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air. For more than a century now, families have relied on them for all their plumbing, drains, heating, and cooling needs. And as a 100% family-owned and operated business, MSP is committed to taking care of your family. That's right. Keeping your home nice and toasty this time of year, making sure that everything is in working order for you. Right now, get $50 off any HVAC or plumbing repair. Just give them a call, 651-615-4292, or check out their website, callmsp.com. That's callmsp.com. They are committed to making sure that your home, again, safe, sound, and nice and warm this time of year.
Amen.
Write this down.
Okay, here's how Write That Down works. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. Those are really the only rules here. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And listeners, if you want to participate, like our guy Sam is about to, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app. There's a feedback tab in there, and we'll get you scheduled for some time in the coming weeks. If we don't get back to you, just keep trying, and we'll hopefully get you on the schedule sometime in 2025. Okay, boys. Let's start with Judd's accountability session. Not bad.
Okay.
Hey.
Stick to hockey, Judd. Maybe you should stick to hockey.
You stick to hockey.
We'll start with the bad. You did say Matt Boldy would score at least 2 goals in the next 3 games over the past week. He got 1. He lit the lamp once.
Yep.
Twice. But then you said you went on a run of 4-nation roster predictions here. You said Matt Boldy would be named to the 4-nation tournament, and Brock Faber would be named to the 4-nation Cup or tournament. Cup or tournament? What are we calling it?
Tournament. It's not a cup.
Okay.
Tournament.
Yeah. Burgundy. Whatever's on that prompter.
Oh, that's fine. I don't
We'll
care.
read it.
Yeah, who cares? It's fine.
It starts. Does it start this week, or did it already start?
Nope, next month.
Or next
February.
February.
I think the break is like February 12th through the 20th for the games.
Okay. Are you in or out on this?
I am in on the idea. I hate the timing.
Just pausing our sport for.
Well, you'd only pause your sport, and this is the Olympic thing too. In the middle of February, you have a tournament that is like the playoffs, and you have your best players play. And then what happens in April? You start the playoffs. But like, these guys can only take so much. You're tempting the fate of injuries. My whole thing is the Stanley Cup is the ultimate goal, and I would play this tournament before the season.
Here's a free prediction for anyone who wants it. At some point in April or May, Judd will go on Judd's Hockey Show and complain that Boldy and or Faber were fatigued from the 4 Nations Cup, and it affected their playoff performance.
Yes, absolutely.
Or injured.
Absolutely. That's guaranteed. And I'm afraid they're going to get hurt. And Brodin, who's hurt again, is on the Sweden team. Look, it's a bad idea, man. Don't let Brodin go. I'm telling him he can't go. That's me.
Write this down.
Got me all worked up. You did that on purpose.
That is correct. There's two things for me, both red. I said Chargers, Ravens, Bills would all win. Looking for that parlay. And I said the 2024 Chargers would win at least a playoff game. Just standing for Jim Harbaugh here. Didn't happen. Didn't quite happen. Kind of a brutal week for the listeners. Justin said Kevin O'Connell, Coach of the Year, which we don't know yet, but he said Vikings would win the Super Bowl as part of a parlay.
Okay.
Cody said Andrew Van Ginkel would have another pick 6 at some point. I think he dropped 2 of them since this prediction was made.
At least.
Bad beat. Yep.
At least 2 of them.
Paul said someone from the Vikings wide receiver group will throw a passing touchdown at some point in the regular season or playoffs. Paul also said the Vikings would score at least 3 rushing touchdowns in a regular season game or playoffs. I feel like they barely scored 3 rushing touchdowns all year. Something to work on. Jason said at some point this season, J.J. McCarthy will blow the horn, the Gallahorn.
That didn't happen.
I am too.
They must have
surprising.
kiboshed it.
Yeah.
They must not have wanted him to get the reception
I
there.
mean,
I don't know.
They're just, they've really kept him low profile. He's not doing podcasts really or radio or anything.
Yep.
So
Off the record, I bet if they would have had, not even off the record, because it doesn't matter. Why even say that? If they had a home playoff game, I think McCarthy does it.
Well, you're saying off the record in case it's misconstrued as a prediction.
I don't. I think it's just burned in my brain to say that. But if they had gotten a home playoff game, I think he would have probably blown the Gallagher.
Interesting.
I think they were super worried about just any sort of like, hey, Sam Darnold's our guy right now. Let's not think about the future. Let's just put all the focus on Sam and let Sam do his thing. And then Declan, 2 things. One came off the board. Another one we will highlight here. You said the Gopher football team will be ranked before the season ends. Like the teams in the bottom 5 of the poll right now all have 2 or 3 losses. The Gophers have, I think, 6, so they're probably not gonna.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm gonna be pissed if this doesn't happen.
You said Anthony Edwards would get another $100,000 fine between now and the All-Star break, which is in 3 weeks or a month or something. And he just got popped for $50,000 for flipping off an official.
Yeah.
But you said like one specific fine of $100,000.
Well, it's the max too, isn't it? I don't think you can be fined more than $100K. So
okay.
My spirit was he's going to do something to get the max again. Now, flipping off the guy and this. When I saw this come down on Monday, I was like, oh, this is going to be an ultimate bad beat if I still don't get this.
You made this a week ago, right? If I would have told you right after you made that prediction, hey, just so you know, Anthony Edwards is going to flip off an official and it's going to go viral on social media. Mm-hmm. You would have thought, oh, he's for sure getting fined $100,000 for that. Right?
I probably would have been. Yes, I probably agree with you. Yes, that would have.
It's a bad beat.
Yeah.
So here's where we stand with just a few weeks left in the regular season. Declan batting .315. I'm batting .313. Listeners batting .303. Judd batting .291. Judd's still in this, even though he's in last place. You're going to have to get on a run here.
Yep.
And then the home runs, listeners and myself tied with 13. Judd 11. Declan 11. So that category is up for the taking. Anyone can win any of these categories with just a few weeks left. And then for career stats, Declan 352 average leads everyone. Judd 352 career hits. I'm just 2 hits away from career hit number 300. And write that down. Listeners 68 home runs in their career. So those are the accountabilities. Let's get Sam in here, our guest listener predictor.
Hi guys.
What's going on, Sam? Give us your background as a Minnesota sports fan.
Well, I'm a native of the land of 10,000 lakes. I'm initially from just south of Rochester. I grew up in Storeville, Minnesota. I'm the son of 2 avid Minnesota sports fans. Both my parents are diehard Minnesota sports fans, and I've just followed along with them and been with them ever since. So
cool.
Love it. And you haven't bailed on the Twins yet. You're still rocking the Twins gear there, at least.
This is a Mauer. I went out. I was actually fortunate enough to be along for the trip out to Cooperstown to go celebrate Joseph Patrick Mauer. So
Love it.
Got the Cooperstown hat on here. Got the Mauer shirt, and then this, Judd, you'll like this. This is a vintage bobblehead shirt.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, dude.
Beautiful. I need one of those.
Bobbleheads. I'm an avid collector myself, so yeah.
Nice.
That's amazing. Judd, did you and Dex, did you get the email? The Twins Fest is the email 2-day Twins Fest.
I did.
Judd, the
Friday night event sold
tickets?
out.
I believe we're giving away tickets too on the Score North app.
Let's go, dude.
So I'll be there.
If Judd doesn't swoop them all up before we can give them away.
Yep.
Yep, I'll be there.
I think that's great. I think it's great that they do that.
So maybe they can trot out the new ownership during Twins Fest. It might be too early. I don't know.
Don't stop on my prediction. I got a prediction about that. So
Okay, go, Sam. You're going to start us off. So we'll start with Sam, Judd, Dex, back to me. Fire away, Sam. Let's rock and roll.
So I'll get this one out of the way early. So the Twins will write this down. The Twins will not be sold, not have a new ownership by opening day. The Pohlads will still be in control of the Twins on opening day 2025.
Okay. Maybe we can drag this out for 4 years like Glenn Taylor. We're coming up on the 4-year anniversary of when A-Rod, and can you believe that?
Yeah.
A-Rod, it was spring of 2021 that A-Rod and Laurie came in.
Yep.
And bought the team in air
How
quotes.
has the league not closed this loophole yet? They can't allow this ever again. This whole thing.
Well, I think
we'll gradually sell you the team.
Unofficially, they probably have closed it, right? They've probably talked to owners.
Officially closed it. It's the most ridiculous thing of all time.
Write this down.
All right, Judd.
Okay, speaking of that, the arbitration ruling on who owns the Timberwolves will be out no later than February the 15th. So I think we are going to get, I hope to God, I'm just trying to will this to happen. We are going to get closure.
Isn't it? I feel like it was reported that it's going to be 30 days is the window though. Isn't that what was reported from last Friday?
I didn't see that.
That the arbitration that they meet and then it's like a 30-day window. I'm pretty sure Doogie and John Krasinski have floated that 30-day window. We're all jockeying for batting average position here, and
Yep. So what's
let me just do a Google search here, okay?
Yeah.
Timberwolves arbitration 30 days. Let me just see.
Not imminent. Oh.
The decision will likely be handed down within the next 30 days after the hearing on the 10th.
So I would say February.
I don't think
1st.
you can make this prediction.
All right, or even you'd have to cut it in half.
It says likely though. It says likely.
This is a wild violation of you have credible reports saying
likely.
In fact, the panel has 30 days to reach a binding decision after the arbitrators, unless they request more time.
You got to shorten the timeline, basically.
Okay, I'll change the prediction then to the team will be awarded. The team will be awarded by mid-February to Laurie and A-Rod.
That doesn't really change
what
much.
are we doing?
The timeline is the same, Judd. You need to either
January 10th was
the team will be awarded. Okay, then I'll remove the dates altogether. The team will be awarded an arbitration to Laurie and
there
A-Rod.
we go. Okay.
The timeline. Once I said who was going to get the team, the timeline became not a relevant part of the prediction because I'm giving you who's going to get the team.
No, that's fair. That's fair. We should listen. There's only a few weeks left in a tightly contested statistical battle here. Okay, all
I gotta say is we now jockey. These predictions are now from Sports Dad all going to be parsed through very closely.
Just like the contract that A-Rod
exactly right. So don't. So if Declan goes for a bunt now, Sports Dad's not going to go for it. He's going to demand. He's going to demand more. Don't try and bunt.
Write this down.
All right, here we go.
Here it is.
I knew this was going to happen. We're all just going to be.
This is going to get. This
is so dumb.
This is now.
I don't know.
The horse trading is done. We are now all on our own.
I think it's most likely a single. He just missed the cut last year by fractions of votes. This is his last year of eligibility on the traditional ballot. Billy Wagner gets into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Billy Wagner will get in. He just missed out last year. I believe this is the last year he's on the ballot for the traditional voting. I think he sneaks in.
When do we find out?
Like next week, 2 weeks.
So before it's a prediction for this season then. Okay.
It's 5 years now, right?
Yeah, they've cut it.
From like 10
you don't
years?
need to be on the ballot for 10 years. Like you're not playing.
No. Agreed.
It is kind of funny when that happens though, where some guy will get like 30% in the first year or 20%. And then after thinking about it for 10 years, gradually, I guess that guy is a Hall of Famer.
And then some group of old guys on some committee sticks him in the Hall of Fame because Tony La Russa liked him.
Exactly.
Write this down.
All right. I'm not going to be bunting here. I'm swinging to protect the home run crown here. So I will do a 3-item parlay, a Timberwolves 3-item parlay. So Wolves, it's Friday night, right, against the old Knickerbockers.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks came to town. We did 7 tribute videos for Carl, made it a home game for Carl and the Knicks, and the game was over halfway through the second quarter. So the Wolves get a chance to go to the Garden on Friday night, and here's a 3-item parlay. Wolves get revenge on Knicks. Wolves beat the Knicks. Dante DiVincenzo hits at least 3 threes. He was playing in garbage time as like punishment in that game. And then Julius Randle will score at least 20 points. So Wolves beat the Knicks, revenge game. DDV hits at least 3 threes, and Julius scores at least 20 points.
Cat's hurt, right? Is he going to miss that game?
Did he come back? He
thought he has
was
a
banged
wrist
up.
injury,
He was
right?
banged up with a knee, but I think he
Or-
came back. Here, I'll verify because it might alter the spirit here. Yeah, he's been back for like the last 4 games.
Oh.
He played 2 nights ago at Boston in a loss, and or I'm sorry, he played
It was
against Detroit in a loss on the 13th. He played in a back-to-back earlier this week. Dude comes off a knee injury. He's played 4 games since the knee injury. A back-to-back, he plays 36 minutes and 43 minutes. 43 minutes the second night of a back-to-back.
thumb problem, it looks
Yeah,
like.
thumb
that he's
problem.
playing through.
He's questionable for a thumb problem, I think, tonight, though.
Okay. Yeah, the knee was why he didn't dress against Orlando then. And then, all right.
Okay. All right.
Either way, revenge game.
Write this down.
All right, back to Sam.
I'm going to switch gears here and take us more over to the NFL playoffs. I'm going to say give me all the home teams this weekend. I think all the top seeds will advance to the conference championship games.
All right.
Weekend.
And if that happens, it is a 4-item parlay. So this would be a home run for Sam. All
Write this down.
right, Judd. Pull a fast one here.
Kirill Kaprizov probably not going to play tonight against Edmonton, but I do think he'll return before next week's. Write that down, and he will score a goal in his first game back. Kirill Kaprizov
Declan was ready to jump
will
in
net
there.
a goal in his first game back.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yep, for
That's
sure.
fine. You don't get to approve my things now. I moved off the last one. That's fine.
You know what this
you're
is
the
like?
committee.
And if you guys, I know you guys are big poker viewers on TV, but what happens when you get right down close to where, let's say, like 1,000 players start a poker tournament and 150 of them make the money. Well, once you get down to like 155,
Yep.
and we're right down there, they pause every table. They go hand for hand every table so that everything can be kind of examined and people can't pull fast ones and slow play.
Yep.
That's write that down in the final weeks here.
hold on
Just
a
want to make sure that no one's pulling a fast
I
one.
got to get my notepad out because I got my Christmas card list. I crossed Phil off on Monday. Now I'm going to cross Declan off today. No Christmas
Apparently
card for you
people,
next year.
Ross was telling me too that like he got a bunch of texts that people were shook that Judd and I were arguing.
Oh, yeah.
Did,
No, mom and dad
I know-
were fighting.
I know, but like we've been doing shows together for
yeah.
over a decade, and just I think what happened is we agreed a lot during the Kirk Cousins era.
Yeah.
We were kind of saw that whole thing.
The radio
similarly.
show, though, we brawl.
Yeah. No, I'm used to it. I forget who it was. Someone was like, Declan is watching mom and dad fighting in the McDonald's line, just wanting to go home and play Halo. And I was like, it's kind of a funny little way to look at it. But no, I'm used to it. It doesn't bug me. I don't think it's weird. You guys used to do it all the time.
It's good entertainment. Someone tweeted at us though that one thing I know for sure that Mackey and Judd won't be exchanging Christmas cards this year.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
No, we're fine. It's all
Write this
all
down.
just fun in sports. We back to Dex here. I think.
Yeah. I'll make a Julius Randle prediction as well. Write it down. He'll drop 30 in a game by next week's. Write that down. And little tease, he is involved in my hottest take on Flagrant Howls for later this afternoon as well.
dude.
So
Wow.
Julius Randle will drop 30 in a game by next week's. Write that down.
Boosting that trade value. Let's make it
Write this
happen.
down.
All right, write this down. So last night was kind of a dull TV night. I don't know if you guys settled in.
was.
There's like a Duke basketball game
Watching
on.
YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't.
So I actually wound up watching an hour and a half of TGL, the Tiger. Is it the Tiger Golf League?
I almost turned this on. Yeah.
It's like SoFi is the big presenting sponsor. It was founded 2.5 years ago. They initially were going to launch like a year ago, and I don't know. They pushed it by a season. Hold on, I got a little bug in my
About to
throat.
say, you're right there. Yeah, I almost turned this on. Decided not to.
He's getting
Was
choked
watching-
up because TGL's so good.
Like,
His
golf
new
is
favorite
back.
sport.
I mean, I know he's talking TGL, but like PGA Tour's back. I love when golf comes back this time of year.
It is fun.
You back?
So I think I'm okay. I have like a tickle in my throat. Super weird.
Uh-oh, you're the latest Hubbard employee not feeling well.
I didn't go to the gathering. I did not go to the gathering.
I didn't go.
Auto reply, email.
Yeah, I'm out.
You got to
it out
save that
today.
one for Monday statements and questions. Where do we draw the line at auto replies?
Almost
at work?
never.
So I guess what I'm saying is, as much as I want this to work and I love the new concept, we're trying like basically simulator golf on TV. This is going to be an epic disaster. So I will say that the TGL and ESPN is carrying these. ESPN will not carry a season 2 of TGL. Or better put, TGL will be off ESPN TV for 2026. It's a long-term prediction.
So it's just that bad?
I get what they're trying to do. Let's bring Scott Van Pelt, and we're bringing in these big golf personalities. You're literally watching dudes hit into a simulator for 3 hours, and then they have a putting. Then they go to the putting green, and I don't know. They've spent a lot of money on this.
Basically, what you're saying is they are so hard up not to carry hockey games on the mothership,
And baseball is probably.
that they're showing dudes hitting into simulators.
Yeah. So I don't know. I want it to work, but I don't know if I see
Write
it.
this down.
All right, Sam, what's your third and final prediction?
All right, so you were talking about how it wasn't a big TV night tonight, but tonight it is. We got Wild and Oilers on tonight. We got Wolves and Warriors on tonight. Write this down. Give me the under on both games. Total points scored in both games. I think it's going to be a little too high. I think they're setting it a little bit too high scoring, and I think it's going to be a little bit underwhelming scoring-wise. So give me the under on both the Wild and the Wolves games tonight.
Love it, man. Yeah, the Warriors, by the way, have just
a mess.
completely fallen off the map.
It's a mess.
They're now a game under 500. They've fallen out of. I think they've fallen out of play-in position too. Just kind of a weird deal there. So, all right, Sam, nice job with your predictions, dude. Since you've got this life-changing platform right now, is there anyone you'd like to thank that helped you get here today?
First of all, I'd like to thank my late father who passed away last year, just a week ago last year. He was a huge Minnesota sports fan. He was ironically almost sports dad before sports dad was sports dad. He was the one to sit you down and say, hey, it's not always going to go well. I remember him when we were watching the 09 NFC Championship game when the Saints were lining up for that field goal, being like, he's going to bang it right down the middle, whoever the Saints kicker was at the time. I don't remember. But he was my Judd, my optimistic Mackey, pie in the sky. Now I'm sort of becoming that Judd type sports son.
Hard not to be.
So, yeah.
Love it, man. Well, Sam, awesome work with the predictions. We'll do it again sometime, and enjoy sweating those unders tonight with the Wild and the Wolves. All right?
Yeah. So, thanks for having me on, Phil.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Sam.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, boys, before we make our final predictions here, this is prime windshield wiper fluid season, and that's where Splash comes in. You just want to make sure when you're driving around here, Minnesota, upper Midwest, you got to be able to see clearly when you're driving around. There's nothing more scary, really, than when you're on the freeway and you're running low on windshield wiper fluid. So be prepared. Have an extra bottle of Splash handy when you need it. Changes in the weather can make it hard to see this time of year. There's fewer car washes because, when it's -4 wind chill, you're probably not going to go get a car wash. So Splash powering Score North podcast here and powering your clean windshields.
Apply a little splash when your windshield's getting dirty. Just apply a little splash.
Boom. We should record a Mackey and Judd a cappella version of that.
Yeah.
I sort of wish we incorporated the first part though, where it goes splash, splash, splash.
We could. I trimmed that because I didn't want it to be like too long for
Sure.
Just kind of the. I could
like
put
the
together a longer version.
I
if you
like the
want.
jingle. I'm not going to lie. I like the jingle a lot.
Yeah, it's a good jingle. Good jingle.
Write this down.
All right, Judd, your third and final prediction.
All right, my third and final prediction is this. Speaking of Golden State's problems, issues, they got off to a great start, and then as Phil just said, they've gone in the tank. This will be Steve Kerr's last season as their coach.
Oh,
Off the record, I think he steps down.
Whoa, dude.
I think he steps down. It's just been a lot. It feels like the window is just closing. Steph sounds very un-Steph-like. So this will be... I think Steve Kerr knows a good thing, and I think he also knows probably when something has run its course. It feels like this is coming very close to that. So Steve Kerr's last season, I'm not predicting he'll step down because he could be fired, but this will be it.
do you think he stays in coaching?
I think there's a chance, but I bet he takes a year off or two. He also, I think, could immediately transition right into broadcasting. And keep in mind, there are some very good jobs out there. It was interesting. There was a story yesterday in The Athletic that the top two Amazon NBA voices are Ian Eagle, and they're going to sign Kevin Harlan, which is great. But I guess they haven't. They're exploring the analyst position, but they don't have them, which makes some sense. Like, if you got wind that Steve Kerr was going to step down, because you don't like have to decide right now. I mean, he is really good at that. Just seems to me like he's a guy that probably at some point in time needs a break. And I don't know that Golden State now is headed in the right direction.
Didn't he do a little bit of analyst stuff before he took
yeah.
the Warriors job, right?
He was awesome at it.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
very good. He became what? The Suns GM or president for a while?
Yeah. Yep. He was Suns front office. Was that before or after the broadcasting stint? And then
Yeah.
he winds up. Yeah. He was he also a Greg Popovich assistant, or was that just like he at the end of his career maybe playing? I feel like there was a Spurs run there too, but. Bob Myers, the GM architect of the Dynasty Warriors, pieced out for broadcasting 2 years ago because he saw everything coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much longer you can keep. Like, it's been an amazing run. You literally were the coach and the catalyst for this incredible, one of the great teams in NBA history. Just take a deep breath for a while. Okay, over to the Dexter here.
All right, last one for me.
Write this
I'm going to make
down.
a Royal Rumble prediction. We're a couple weeks away from the Rumble. Right now, the betting favorite to win the Rumble is John Cena, which, by the way, I love Cena. Love me some John Cena. I do. But
Doesn't.
I know Phil is very anti-Cena. I love Cena. But I think him winning the Rumble would just be like very classic old school at the end of Vince McMahon. Like, what are we doing? Why are we going to do this for an old legend who's just doing the final tour? I'm not against him having like some prominent main event match or a really good storyline going into Mania. But I think him winning the Rumble is so silly. So write this down. He'll make it to the final four of the Rumble, but not in the final two guys.
Oh,
So like
okay.
he'll be involved in the final four, but he will not be the last two in the ring.
Okay. Joe, what do you think of John Cena's chances here as he
Cena.
dedicates his life to wrestling for one more year? All in. No movies, none of that stuff.
It does seem very cliched.
I love him. I love Cena. But
How do you think Cena matches up against Gunther if those guys wind up facing each other at WrestleMania?
I feel like I feel like part of the problem right now with the writers is that they're leaning on the past too much. I feel like we need to be developing characters.
Oh, we're definitely developing.
We're
This is
definitely-
the best
Right.
crop of
Yeah.
like newer
right.
guys we've seen.
But I feel like I lean into that.
I will say, and by the way, like Punk, I love CM Punk, but man, that match he had with Rollins, which was great. He's getting up there, man. Like I don't think Punk can go for 25
I got a
minutes
serious question,
in the
too.
ring.
Serious question here. Are you guys, especially Phil, because like Phil comes from the 90s wrestling of just guys roided up.
Oh yeah.
Like when I look at Punk, and he's a great personality, like on the mic, the guy's fantastic.
best.
But are you offended a little bit by the fact that the physique just don't cut
Yeah.
it?
You know what? This is going to be a large glass house that I throw stones in right now. But yeah, he does. I feel like no one's using steroids anymore. But I feel like CM Punk could work on his cardio a little bit. You know, I'm with Dex. He gets about 12 minutes into these matches. He looks a little gassed. You know?
And don't get me wrong, other guys have done this. He is 46 years old, like, has really only been wrestling again for like the last 3 years, and there's been like gaps where he wasn't doing anything because he left or had injuries. Like, he's great on the mic. He is still
mixing a Stairmaster, you know?
But
This is going to sound insensitive, but I don't care. But considering the lifestyle, right? Like these guys do these ridiculous stunts. Like there is inherent danger in that sport, no question about it. Like, are steroids really the thing that's where it's like, okay, that's a bridge too far?
Yes, because guys are literally having heart attacks in their 40s.
But I mean, these guys are going to die young regardless.
No,
like they're
not
going through
anymore.
tables.
The guys aren't.
Really?
No, you're not
going through tables.
Guys aren't like dying in the ring going through a table.
Yeah, this is not.
No. But I'm saying later in life, like their quality of life, it's like football. It takes such a toll.
It's different now, man. Like these guys, you got guys like Edge, Cena, The Rock. They're like in their 50s and are chiseled. And yeah, it's a little steroids. That rash of guys in the 80s and 90s, they're all except for somehow Ric Flair is still alive through all of it.
Yeah, I was going to say
Ric Flair has probably been. He should be dead 20 times over.
Guy's still sitting there going woo for like
Heading
millions of
toward
dollars
his
a year.
6th wife. You know, he's still drinking cocktails.
Write this down.
We should just do a wrestling podcast with Judd.
I mean, it's been on top. I know Phil and I have talked about it before. I would 100% love to do one. It's just more of
there's so many of them out there, and it's also because we do Purple Daily is like a watch along companion podcast, right? But you're like there's only 17 games and maybe a playoff game in preseason. Wrestling, there's like you'd have to literally watch like 10 hours of programming every week and all the storylines. It's be full time just to watch that much.
That won't be happening for Judd.
Well, that's what we would do. You'd be the one that watches, and then you'd have to explain to us what you think is happening.
I got stuff to do. I'm busy.
Write that down.
All right, write this down. I'm going to beat you guys at your own game here down the stretch.
We'll see.
The Golden Gopher hockey team plays host to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Those gold hockey helmets are going to be on display this weekend at Mariucci. Write this down. The Gophers will not lose this weekend to Notre Dame. The Gophers will not lose to Notre Dame in either game this weekend.
Okay.
Row the boat, Sky-Yama, float the puck down the ice, get on your forecheck.
pinch, wheel.
Let's go.
Puck's deep.
Puck's deep.
That's right.
Always want pucks deep.
All right, boys. Those are the Write That Down predictions. The only show in America that actually keeps track statistically of how wrong we are on a regular basis. We'll see you guys for a little reckless speculation scoop session with Doogie tomorrow.